Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kathie J Show. Hi, I'm your host, Kathie J. Thank you so much for spending the half hour with us. Excuse me, I just realized Mama's cane was in the shot, so let me get rid of that really fast. Sorry about that. So as y'all know, I am now the second day walking on my foot without, look at that, I even have a shoe on, but we're gonna have to cut it off of me because my foot's so swollen in it. But it's all about progress, everybody. But I'm walking and I'm doing rehab because I can't wait to get out into the beautiful Colorado air as soon as the weather gets nice. And I want you to come out there with us because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the Colorado Lottery coming up this spring and summer. So you can find anything you might have missed at KathieJShow.com. Any episodes, go and check it out there. Getting into the Colorado Lottery, did you know that approximately 4 to 6 million U.S. adults qualify as problem gamblers? That's 2 to 3% of the population, everybody, and that's crazy, too many. Gambling remains like this hidden addiction that nobody wants to talk about, but we're not going to hide it because we have the Colorado Lottery here to talk about it with us. Welcome back to the show. Yay, it's Deputy Director Jennifer Anderson. Yay! Jennifer, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So this is a serious problem. And we are gonna get into it, but I hate to do that as the segue to the fact that we do have new games that we want to talk to everybody about because it's about playing responsibly. So to all of us that are playing responsibly, there's some cash games going on right now, Jennifer.
Yes, we had a couple things we wanted to mention that are new at the Colorado Lottery. So this week we have a promotion for Lucky for Life for March 17th for St. Patty's Day. So that's buy $10 worth of tickets and you get a free ticket, which is $2 ticket.
Yes.
So look for that on Thursday. But also we have this awesome new scratch game out. The theme is cash. We heard from our players their number one favorite prize is cash. They don't want to win trips. They don't want to win cars. They're like cash.
It's kind of like hard cash. Kind of like Christmas presents and stuff. We always say, just give me cash.
Yeah,
right.
Especially as adults, I think cash. So we made a whole game themed around cash. So we have $1, $2, $5, and $10 tickets, and they are loaded with cash prizes. We have prizes ranging from $10 to $25,000. Those are the lower prizes. And then for the $10 ticket, we have a $250,000 prize. And there's still 3 of those top prizes remaining in the game. So get out and buy your cash tickets today. And then also, if you don't win, you can enter your ticket into the second chance drawing. So that's a way, it's a second chance to win, and that drawing takes place at the end of the game. So you'll probably have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And then you could win $250,000. So.
It's pretty amazing, everybody. So you know the Colorado Lottery, they know that we want different little ways to win. Give me another edition of a way to win, Jennifer.
Yeah.
So that second chance drawing, everybody, if you didn't know, and you should have the Colorado Lottery app on your phone because that's where I have mine. And you can, and then you guys always have other promotions that I'll get a notification for, and I'm like, yes, I will put my name in for that. But your second chance, all you got to do, it reads the barcode so easy on the bottom of your ticket, and then it'll enter it into, and it's amazing, that app, how it reads. I mean, you guys are on a plugged-in system of technology. I dig it.
We like to think so.
Yes. So the second chance, you just put it in there, and then, like she said, at the end of the actual card, you're registered and you could win the top prize.
Exactly. And the drawing is kind of like, it's at the end of the game. So, it really will be a delayed gratification.
Yes, it is delayed gratification.
If you do win, it takes place at the end.
And the cash games is the one you want to look for, everybody. That's where there's 3 top prizes left. Just look for how they're spelling cash. It's with the $sign. That's part of this whole $2 to $10 prices of the scratch cards.
Yeah. This is a great game. And the second chance drawing is always also very fun. But
it is.
We love these. We've had a lot of fun with this theme. We've made some great commercials, so look for those as well.
We got them. We're going to play them in a minute.
Okay.
So coming up next, the Colorado Lottery is increasing its support of the problem gambling. We'll find out. Don't go away. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. I just keep dancing every time I hear it. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. Everybody, Jennifer's like, I don't. Everybody, March is National Problem Gambling Awareness Month, which is a major focus for the Colorado Lottery. Jennifer Anderson is their deputy director. Yay! Here to tell us more about that. So we did just talk about, scratch cards, and we do love playing scratch cards, and we love playing the Colorado Lottery. But there comes a time, Jennifer, where it's too serious for some people.
Yep, and we really use March as a time to raise awareness. We see on average an uptick of calls by about 30% to the National Problem Gambling Hotline. So it really does work to raise awareness about this problem and make people more aware of all the resources out there if you are struggling with a problem.
Yes, and your resources, like you guys come with it. Like when you're buying the tickets, you have the hotline number there. It's printed right on the scratch cards, the
Right
hotline
here,
number. Yes,
on every card, every scratch ticket.
It's very important for you guys to make sure that everybody's playing your games responsibly. Why?
It is. Well, first of all, we've always cared, right?
Yeah.
It's an important thing to make sure you're mitigating any negative impacts to society, but the problem is increasing. There's more types of gambling and it's more accessible to people. So we've increased our efforts by 50% this year. And we've also just really prioritized it in everything that we do. And that's just important for us to be a responsible gaming vendor. Partly because we're a state-run business, we're part of the government, and we feel like we really need to make sure we're being responsible about the products that we sell.
And it's kind of like it's a two-headed beast. Like you're trying to say, please, like we have money that we'd love for you to come and buy these chances, and then we get to help the environment in Colorado, but at the same time, don't get carried away with it. So it's very important for you to continue to get that message out there.
Yes, and some of the ways we've done that is we partnered with the local chapter of the National Council on Problem Gambling. So that's called the Problem Gambling Coalition of Colorado. And we've been a partner with them for a long time. We sit on their board and we really collaborate extensively on ensuring that we're raising awareness and continuing to prioritize problem gambling in Colorado.
Yes.
And we also embarked on this certification just in 2018. So that's new for us, and it's really requiring a lot of thought. And it's very comprehensive.
This is what you guys are calling the level 3, level 4. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
It's about operating licenses and things that you do to prove that you guys are responsible.
So basically, yes, the World Lottery Association offers an accreditation, but you really have to work for it. And so they have 4 different levels. And I mean, it takes a year to get to the next level.
Wow.
So you put together a 200-page application with each level that you're applying to get certified at that level. So we started with level 1, and that was really just making a commitment to look at our program and to improve it. Level 2 was a full assessment of like, what are we doing now and where are there gaps and where could we be more in line with the best practices in the industry. And then level 3, which is what we just recently received, that required us to put together a plan to close those gaps and ensure that we're doing problem gambling in everything that we do, that it's incorporated into all that we do. And then level 4, we're applying for in May, and that requires us to implement the entire plan.
Wow.
And it's audited. Before we apply, we have to get an auditor in, independent third party, looking at to make sure we've done everything we said we were going to do. And then we achieve level 4.
And so you guys are going for level 4.
We're going for level 4.
How many states are at level 4?
Only 8 other states, and that's kind of, tells you how difficult this is. It's not just checking a box. And then also when you get to level 4, the coolest thing to me about the program is you can't just rest on your laurels. You have to reapply every 3 years.
Oh, good.
And you have to constantly be reassessing and improving because, best practices change in the industry.
Yes, and you got to keep changing with it too. Okay, all right. Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Don't go away, everybody. When we come back, we're going to spot the signs of problem gambling. We'll be right back. Kathie J. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Kathie J. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Welcome back. There's a little Casey Kasem going on there. The National Campaign to Battle Problem Gambling is about awareness plus action. And having the conversations about gambling has to happen, everybody, but you also got to do something about it. There has to be the action. So here to tell us is Jennifer Anderson. She's the Deputy Director about this, Deputy Director for the Colorado Lottery, talking about this national initiative. Thank you for being here. All right, so Jennifer, let's talk about gambling. Friends, family, even yourself. How do we know if we have a problem?
Well, some of the signs that you might have a problem include a preoccupation with gambling where it's no longer just for fun. It's really like you're thinking about it a lot. You stop doing other things that you enjoyed before, like getting outside, going out to eat, going to the movies. So it's really when it becomes compulsive and you no longer feel like you have control over it.
Right.
And then there's also, negative side effects on your relationships, your work, your physical health.
Yes.
All of those things can be signs you have a problem. And I think it's also important to keep in mind that stealing and lying are also potentially signs, but it's not, you don't have to have all of them.
Right, right.
All of these things don't have to exist for you to maybe still have a problem.
That
it could
makes
just
sense.
be one, right? If you make a lot of money and you're spending a lot of money and you don't need to steal to fund your habit, it doesn't mean that you don't have a problem.
Right, that's a very good point. Yes, because you don't have, because when the stealing, I was like, wow, that's just like, a lot of addictions,
Yes.
And then I was like, oh no, this is, you might not have a problem. You don't have to have all of them.
Right.
Just recognize these signs. Now you guys train staff, you train retailers, stockholders, everybody is trained on how to spot these problems.
Yes, we are constantly training mainly our retailers and our staff are very important because they interact with our players a lot. And also when we're creating new games, we want to make sure that we're not targeting people with a problem or exacerbating their problem. So
Right.
Those are things we're constantly keeping in mind, and we use March as a month to really take action and train in those areas.
So this is it's a grassroots campaign for you guys that you do this.
We do, yes, and we partner with the PGCC. We do social media campaigns. We do PSAs. It's kind of just all hands on deck and everybody collaborating together to get this message out.
Right, because you do public health organizations, treatment providers, advocacy groups. Now you also have the cool little videos that you do, the animation videos.
Yes, we have a new campaign called Know Your Limits, and we think this is really fun. It kind of really targets the typical Coloradan who gets outside and does extreme sports. And there are a lot of similarities between the adrenaline rush you get from being outside and doing something extreme that might be life-threatening at times and winning in gambling. And so we're really just talking about keeping yourself in check and not getting carried away.
That's me, just so you know, that was me.
And making sure that your risk does not outweigh the reward, and making sure that you're always in control of your decision making when it comes to gambling, in the same way that you should be in control of your decision making when you're out doing activities in the outdoors that could be sometimes life-threatening. So,
yes, and that's a very smart way to say it, right? Come on, everybody, play it safe. It's about behavior, patterns in your behavior.
Yes, and knowing when to walk away and being in control of when you walk away. And so that's kind of, I think, resonates with a lot of Coloradans.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. I love that you guys talk about the compulsion that people would feel. That's a good one to focus on. Like if you're like, oh, it's been a day. I got to get into that I got to get a scratcher and stuff. I got to find money to get that scratch. It's talking to me.
Yeah.
You might have a problem.
If you're chasing your losses and you're, trying to win back money that you lost, and you're going beyond what you initially decided that you were going to spend.
Yes.
That's a great example where it's probably gone beyond something that's just entertainment.
Yes, right.
And you might want to call our hotline. That's a huge resource. That is a way that if you or a loved one have a problem or think you may, that's the way that you can take action. That's the first step, is calling the hotline.
You're right. And the hotline, everybody, there's a reason why, like she said, it goes up 30% with the more you put the awareness campaigns out there, because there's a lot of people that are like, maybe I should just check to see if I have a problem. What's one of the biggest ways that you recommend people how they do handle the cash? If they have it and they don't, and the bills are paid, you can play with that money. That's kind of how I feel.
You can play with the money. However, again, balancing where you're spending your extra time and your extra money. It shouldn't just be on gambling. Making sure you're still buying gifts for your children and groceries and paying the rent. Those are all things that shouldn't be sacrificed for gambling.
Yes.
And that can be a sign that you have a problem if you're not willing to, balance priorities and you're spending all of your extra income on gambling.
Wow.
Or not even your extra income on gambling.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And the Prevention Hotline, everybody, it's nationalpreventionco.com. Let me read it. I want to make sure. Yes, I want to make sure that I had it right. There it is right there. 1-800-522-4700, everybody. Play responsibly. Compulsive gambling.
And we have a lot of resources on our website as well, on coloradolottery.com.
And again, why is this important for you to get this message out there to everybody?
We just want to make sure that as we offer this very fun game that's entertaining, we're not causing harm to people. And we want to make sure people know that there are resources out there available if you've lost control of your gambling. And in reality, if you've lost control of your gambling, it's likely that you do need assistance in getting it, getting into recovery. It's not something you can do on your own.
It's something like you don't be embarrassed about it because
No,
yes,
absolutely not. I mean, some people are predisposed to this. There's a lot of people who are suffering, and there's a lot of people who are impacted by these addictions, just like any other drug or alcohol addiction. It can have the same impact on your life.
Such a good point. You're right, Jennifer. All right, everybody, when we come back, how you can help somebody with a gambling problem. Stay with us. Kathie J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Kathie J. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for being here with us this half hour. Jennifer Anderson is here. She's the Deputy Director of the Colorado Lottery. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. We're talking about Problem Gambling Awareness Month and the new scratch cards that are out. There's a lot going on, but this March is really Problem Gambling Awareness Month. So we just wanted to tell you everything that the Colorado Lottery is doing to make sure that we are playing responsibly. One of the coolest things, Jennifer, is what I always thought that the scratch ticket vending machines in the grocery stores and stuff, I thought they were just put up there in the front because they were out of the way. But that's not the case at all. There's a plan with that. Why?
So we're really trying to ensure that there's no underage purchases of our products, and the reason being that, being exposed to gambling at a young age can make it harder when you're older to play responsibly. So it's just like drugs or alcohol. Mm-hmm. You start using them when you're a teenager, when your brain is being formed. It can be a problem later on. So there's no reason to allow children access to these games, and it is important that we don't allow them to purchase them.
Hence the reason around Christmas time you were here saying, scratch cards are great gifts, but don't be giving them to children.
Right.
And don't have your children scratch them off for you. And I didn't. I'm listening because I don't want to put that on them.
It seems like just harmless fun, but it could lead to something bigger, so it's just not worth even taking the risk.
I'm with you. Okay, so if you have someone out there that has a gambling problem, a lot of us have the old widowed aunt or our grandma or somebody that's gambling way too much, and you're worried about your inheritance. No, Grandma, are you sure you have money to be doing that? But it's for fun. You're not doing it to make money.
Right.
That's rule number one.
Yes, rule number one is making sure it's fun. Making a budget and sticking to it.
Okay.
Making sure that you're not gambling when you feel lonely or depressed to deal with negative emotions. There's other healthier ways to deal with those emotions. Taking a break just to make sure you know that you're in control of your gambling.
I gotta go take a break. Yeah. I usually take a break when that's usually when I talk to God. God, please, this is my break. Please let this be a winning scratch card. We met, I had the privilege of meeting a guy who, he has won a lot with the Colorado Lottery. Scratchers, that's his thing. Mm-hmm. Like he even had like an indentation in his finger from scratching. But he always said what you just said. He always set a limit with his money, and he never went over, and if he lost, he waited until the next week when he had that money again to go into the budget to play for his scratchers.
That is a very responsible way to play. And I will just say again, if somebody has lost control, these are great ways to make sure you are playing responsibly. But if you've lost control, the best thing to do is to call the hotline. If you're not at the point where you're willing to do that or ready to do that, you can also go on our website. There's a test you can take to kind of assess yourself and figure out, do I really have a problem? And there's so many resources online that are, you're completely anonymous. You can read about
that'd be great.
Other
so I could be
resources.
like this, Grandma, do you feel that you gamble when you're lonely or happy? Right? Because that's one of the a psychological part of gambling.
Exactly. And it's also progressive. So another sign is has it changed? Has your gambling, habit changed over time? Is it increasing? That's another kind of sign that it could be a problem.
Right. Yes. Like, how much money are you spending? But our society is kind of set up to, you could win money at any moment. So it is the thrill of the chase, right?
Yes.
But it's about being in control of your thrill.
Yeah, and making sure, again, you're balancing it with other activities. This should just be one of many ways that you entertain yourself. and you do this for fun, and maybe you pool with other friends, but I think setting a budget and sticking to what you said you were going to do, whether it be the amount of time you want to spend on it or the amount of money, is so important.
So important. And I'm usually the person that's like, I just won $20. Obviously, the Lord wants me to go buy a $20 scratch off because that's where it's going to hit. But that's the 20. When it doesn't win, I'm done. Everybody, very important information here from the Colorado Lottery. So if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please just contact the National Problem Gambling Hotline Network at 1-800-522-4700. And for more info about problem gambling and how to increase awareness and action, it's awareness plus action, go to problemgamblingcolorado.org. Jennifer Anderson in the Colorado Lottery, thank you so much. I look forward to being with you out in the trails here once the weather gets nicer.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We'll see you soon, guys.